Hello, I'm Amy Curry.
And I'm Jay Campbell, bringing you your Rowan News.
Today's top stories include declining COVID numbers, the upcoming second presidential debate, and the Philadelphia Eagles. But before that, we will start with our first story. A Maryland man was arrested after supposedly leaving a note threatening Joe Biden and his running mate Kamala Harris. Police say that the note was left at a house with a yard sign supporting the candidates. The Justice Department announced on Wednesday the man faces one charge of threats against a major candidate for president and vice president. The letter reads a threatening message to kidnap and kill Biden and Harris on the doorsteps of a Maryland house on the morning of October 4th. He was caught on a Ring doorbell camera, leaving a handwritten note. One part of the note said, "This is a warning to anyone who reads this letter. If you are a Biden/Harris supporter, you will be targeted. We have a list of homes and addresses by the election signs. We are those people with those scary guns, and we are the ones your children have nightmares about." Then the note went on to say that when we capture Biden, he will be severely beaten to the point of death, as well as threatening sexual assault to Harris, and it should be broadcasted on live television. The community is still waiting to hear what happens next.
This Thursday night, the final presidential debate will be held at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, after the previous debate was canceled due to concerns regarding President Donald Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis. However, a new rule has been introduced to combat the frequent interruptions the candidates made during the first debate, particularly Trump's interruptions during a 2-minute segment that was supposed to be uninterrupted. This time around, while one candidate is speaking during their allotted time, the opposing candidate will have their microphone cut. All microphones will be active during the debate period following these segments. This plan has received both praise and criticism from various sides, with candidate Joe Biden and his administration supporting the rule, and President Donald Trump stating his disapproval but compliance nonetheless. We'll have to watch Thursday night and see if this plan is successful. In other news, according to some recent studies, it's been reported that the COVID-19 patient death rate is beginning to drop. Leora Horwitz, an organizer of a study conducted in New York City's NYU Langone Health Program, took a look at cases in between March and August with her team and discovered something noteworthy. According to their study, the patients that took part, quote, had a 25.6% chance of dying at the start of the pandemic. They now have a 7.6% chance, end quote. Explanations for this trend seem to be based on both the better understanding and care doctors now have for the virus and the influx of younger, healthier patients. This isn't to say that the COVID-19 epidemic is over by any means, as thousands of people continue to contract the virus each week, but the news remains hopeful still. In the meantime, the CDC maintained that everyone continue to wear a mask, practice social distancing, and restrict unnecessary travel. Coming up, one survivor shares her experiences of a phenomenon called long COVID.
Vicky Bourne went from ziplining on vacation and hitting the gym several times a week to dealing with waves of illness after catching the coronavirus in March.
I lost my sense of taste and smell again. It just went completely. I get really wheezy and breathless, and I have to use an inhaler twice a day now.
Vicky is describing what doctors call long COVID. UK researchers believe thousands of people share a similar experience. So they asked coronavirus patients to log their symptoms on an app. Most recovered in under 11 days, but 1 in 7 were sick for more than a month, while 1 in 50 reported being sick for more than 12 weeks. Doctors say people at higher risk for long COVID have more than 5 symptoms in their first week, are over 50, women, and have asthma.
We wanted to have an idea of how much that might affect people, especially as we are going into a second wave now in the pandemic, where more and more people are going to get exposed to the virus.
As cases spike around the globe, doctors are creating a model to predict who is at most risk of long COVID. They hope their research will help prevent and treat the deadly virus. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Pre-orders for Apple's iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro began earlier this week. The new addition to the Apple catalog will include an improved camera system with a dual-lens camera, as well as 5G support. It features a different design from the iPhone 11 and has flat sides rather than round like previous versions. The iPhone 12 is available in 5 colors: black, white, red, mint, and blue. It is set to be released this Friday. The mobile app announced Wednesday afternoon that it is shutting down after only 6 months of operation. The app features original programming in the form of short videos that are typically between 7 to 10 minutes in length. It struggled to take off after its launch and fell out of the top 50 most downloaded free iPhone apps in the United States a week after its release. In response to shutting down, the company cited the need to preserve shareholder equity. They also suggested one of the reasons for Quibi's failure to beat changes to the media landscape. Quibi's final date is currently unknown, but the company plans to begin the process of selling its assets within the next few months. Archaeologists have discovered an etching of a cat on a hillside in Peru that dates back 2,000 years. The figure was found on the Nazca Line site during maintenance work and stretches 40 yards wide. The site was initially unearthed in 1927 by an aerial surveyor. There, archaeologists found several geoglyphs over the years. Previously discovered figures include a hummingbird, a monkey, and an orca whale. Researchers believe that they were once used as travel markers and that they were created by ancient Peruvians when they scraped off the dark and rocky layer of the earth, which contrasted with the lighter colored sand underneath. Experts say that the cat-like figure dates back to 200 or 100 BC. Now off to our in-person reporter, Giovanni Reyes, with the news on how students get their COVID information.
Good morning, Rowan. It's a beautiful Tuesday, and I'm Giovanni Reyes. Throughout this hectic year of social distancing, we've been subject to being behind our screens more than we'd like. We conducted a few interviews on campus to see just where people are getting their local news. Obviously, with the times, with social distancing and everything of that nature, we're very much susceptible to being behind our screens to get our information.
Yeah.
Where are you really getting the information, like breaking news and such? Where would you get it?
I'm getting it from Twitter.
From Twitter?
100% Twitter.
Probably Instagram.
Instagram?
Yeah.
You know, pretty much like everybody like Twitter.
Yeah.
My friends. I don't really check like main news outlets anymore.
With Instagram, obviously, you know, it runs the risk of that credibility factor.
Yeah.
What is it that makes Instagram more appealing for you opposed to, you know, the main stations and blogs and such?
Probably because I'm just already on it.
I don't really watch TV at all. I feel like it's more concise, but on top of that, it's more opinionated.
Okay, no, because it's way more convenient,
Yeah.
something that connects with everything within life for you.
Oh.
Keep doing your thing, brother.
See you. Have a great day.
You as well.
Good luck for the rest of your day.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Now on to Nick with sports.
The Philadelphia Eagles lost to the Baltimore Ravens this past Sunday. If you didn't watch the game and only saw the final score, you would think it was a close and even fight, but this was not the case for most of the game. The Ravens started off strong, scoring 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving and 1 rushing in the first quarter and converting on both extra points to take a 14-0 lead. After a made field goal in the second quarter, the Ravens were up 17-0 heading into the half. The Eagles finally scored a touchdown off of a fumble recovery, but failed to convert on the 2-point conversion. Last season's MVP Lamar Jackson scored a 37-yard touchdown for the Ravens, making the score 24-6 after the third quarter. The fourth quarter is where the Eagles finally got their offense going. Jason Kroom caught the first receiving touchdown for the Eagles, but the Eagles failed to convert on the 2-point conversion again. After 2 more field goal attempts by the Ravens, the score was 30-14 with just a little over 7 minutes left in the game. Travis Fulgham, who played exceptionally well in last week's loss to the Steelers, caught an 18-yard pass from Carson Wentz, and J.J. Arcega-Whiteside caught the 2-point pass to bring the score up to 22. With less than 2 minutes left in the game, Wentz ran for a 1-yard touchdown to bring the score up to 28. However, Wentz would fail to convert the 2-point conversion that would have tied the game and most likely given the Eagles a chance to extend the game to overtime. In the end, it was a poor start for the Eagles, and 3 failed 2-point conversions that, if successful, could have changed the outcome to this game. The Eagles fell to a record of 1-4 with 1 draw, and this loss places them second in the NFC East behind the Dallas Cowboys. This is Nick Cachuela with your Sports News Report.
And that's all this program has to offer. I'm Amy Curry.
And I'm Jake Campbell. Have a wonderful night.